We listened to the sounds of the era. We listened to Louis Armstrong, Count Basie, Mahalia Jackson, Etta James, Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, and James Brown. We listened to stories of the day. We talked about Second Ward. We talked about Sweet Daddy Grace and the parades. We talked about restaurants and theaters that were here in Brooklyn and the laughter of the community. And then we thought about what could have been done differently. We thought about what it must really have been like from within the community. And we thought about the assumptions and the misunderstandings from outside of the Black community, and some of those that exist even today. And then we learned about each other. We talked, we shared with each other our potential for greatness, their potential for greatness. And even more, we thought about standing on the shoulders of people who came before us, particularly those in Brooklyn, who gave up so much so that this school could be here today. So with that, we're gonna do one last song, and then we're gonna open it up for the presentations that the students have for us. Trash man didn't get my trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Buses on strike gonna raise the fare, so they can help pollute the
We're a small, very small, non-traditional school. We serve kids from all over the Charlotte area, the entire CMS school district. We focus on offering a non-traditional approach to education for kids who, for a wide variety of reasons, don't really work in a big traditional school. How do I not thank these guys? I don't want to walk away without saying thank you to Toni and to the band. I mean, they've been an incredible benefit to this project and have taken it in a whole new direction that I don't know we even really anticipated when we planned this project from the start. It's just been really great overall, so thank you all too very much.
Okay, my name is Jane Huber. I'm the music teacher at Metro. I've been here since 1991, and the entire time I've been here, of course I started over at the other school, I've always heard about the tradition and the history and the heritage and the richness from Second Ward High School and the Brooklyn community. And I love history. I mean, I get so excited to see you all here, and that you're still active and involved, and you have a national, I mean, they have reunions and people come from all over the country to these reunions. I think it's amazing.
And like a lot of people in Charlotte, I never knew Brooklyn existed. I moved here after it was already removed, and when I was at the old school and I heard a lot about Second Ward, and I remember watching a little film that was on television, and it really piqued my interest, and I knew that I had to get more information. And so I went to the source, to the Second Ward Alumni Association, and we started a partnership then, and you guys came out and made some clay tiles. Remember that? That was when we were building the school. And then you came back out, and because you donated some historic photographs for us that we put mosaic tiles around, and we installed those 4 years ago. And the students from the PLC, maybe not these students, but some students last year took photographs of what it looks like now. And if you'll notice, those are on the front of our school. So we've got the past and the present represented now on Metro School, and I'm really proud to be a part of that. And I'm really proud of our partnership. So I'm glad y'all are here again today.
Okay, again, my name is Sade, and I wrote a poem. I titled it My Brooklyn. My Brooklyn, my home. You may think we're all alone, but in my home I call Brooklyn, I have it all. Curiosity hits, wondering if the life on the other side is better. I look around, I see all the smiles, the doctor and the poor man telling jokes, the little boy and the girl playing in the street, the smell of mothers and grandmothers, delightful cooking.
Okay, singing, dancing, we thought we had it planned out. Segregated so we never took the hands out. Thinking of the other side, how would it plan out? Seeing my color, they'll probably think I'm a bad child. Yet sticks and stones can never break my bones. Brooklyn born and raised, though I was never alone. Let it be known, freedom of mind state, skin color hated. Though our character shines brighter than stars, no man can take it.
Brooklyn is home, a part of it. Racist see is low level because of our skin and poverty. My community setting is masterpiece, it's art to me. Everything in my world is flowing passionately like the blood in my arteries. Urban renewal of second ward is like taking my heart in me, but everyone has priorities. From the praise and shouts of St. Paul Friendship and the House of Prayers Church, along with Second Ward High, because being black, segregation, education has to come first.
And I basically just did a collage of showing what Brooklyn Community Center used to be and what it is now, and how everything just changed over the years.
And I did a picture of a yin-yang, and it has a black bird and a white bird in it. And a yin-yang is a symbol of, it's separate, it's like darkness and light. So I was thinking from a standpoint of the people of Brooklyn and the people outside of Brooklyn, looking from both views, is they thought that it was always going to be different. But I knew that some people felt that it didn't need to be different, and that's where the civil rights movements and stuff came in.
I want to go home where no one cares, judges, or looks upon others of being better nor worse. I want to go home where the delicious aromas of the street vendors attack. The street sounds, blowing horns, the music of trains, the different cultures. Every street corner bonds with the soul. I want to go home where I no longer feel out of place. I want to go home. I want to leave this place. I want to go home.
Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, through the bumps of dime in your prime. Didn't you? People call, say beware doll, you're bound to fall. You thought they were all kidding you. You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud about having to be scrounging for your next meal. How does it feel?
That first song she sang, I almost got up and we did what you call the jitterbug. Nothing beats the jitterbug. When you throw it out there and come back around, that was it.
They call that the swing now, and it's an old time jitterbug. That's all exactly. The swing is. We had like sock hops, and we had Kigo's Canteen, and we had American Basket. That was us. Any questions on this?
Can I add something to it? They were called sock hops because they were held in the gymnasium, and you couldn't wear shoes in the gymnasium because you'd mess up the floors for the basketball game. So you had to come in, take your shoes off, and dance in your socks.
And it was Clara's class, 1969, had an original sock hop.
Yes. Wow.
And everybody loved to dance.
Yes.
Every place we went, we found out where the dances was going to be held. And we had a place down off of Bayscourt Road that was called Sunset.
Yeah.
That we paid 10 cents to go down there to dance, and we could dance all night for 10 cents.
Y'all here?
I saw James Brown at the Sunset, that same place.
Yeah.
And bands came to Charlotte, and you didn't have Park Center. You had an old Armory Auditorium there.
Right.
And you had people like Cab Calloway, Fats Waller, Ella Fitzgerald, you name them, those were the musicians. And when I left to go to New York, the first thing I found was what I called the Downbeat Club. And when you started singing a while ago, I felt like I was in the Downbeat Club. Yeah, that was it.
I just wanted to know, like, what were some of the things besides going to the dances, the sock hops, and some of the football games and basketball games? What did you guys do for fun? Because I know there were like hopscotch and stuff like that. Did y'all do things like that? Card games, board games?
marbles.
Jackstone.
Jump rope.
Texting, y'all did texting?
Oh, but how did you take urban renewal?
They promised us a new school.
Can I do a follow-up question to that? Mom, can you tell them about how you found out that they were going to tear Brooklyn down?
But we were waiting for the postman. And when the postman came, he brought those long business reply envelopes. And one went to everybody's house. So when the people in the neighborhood got the envelopes, they opened them and read them. And of course, we didn't have any paved streets or any paved sidewalks. We didn't need it because we didn't have any cars. But anyway, when they read those letters, everybody just gathered in the street. Everybody just gathered in the street, and we opened those letters. And those letters up at the top said, "Notice to vacate." And when we saw those letters, people just fell out in the street crying and whatnot. And we had churches everywhere, and the preachers came and prayed, and we sung, and the preachers say we don't have any choice but to do what we've been directed to do. We thought the city fathers were coming in to do something nice in our neighborhood, but they were coming in to take it over.
It's important for us to remember about the people who lived in Brooklyn, and that's where I kind of came in. I was the first African-American female reporter for the Charlotte Observer, and they sent me to do a story about the people and what was happening to the people. And we said in that story that the bulldozer had no eyes. It took churches that were nice churches and homes that were nice homes. It just took the entire area. In fact, it was proven that some people actually died as a result of urban renewal because they were misplaced from their community stores, from the dry cleaners where they worked, from their extended family members. You see, what you had was a community that was a close-knit family. I remember my grandmama would make a pot of beans, and she'd put those beans in bowls, and she'd say, "Take this to Miss Lizzie down the street, and take this to Miss Ann up on McDowell Street." So everybody knew everybody. And there was a sense of loss. And a result of that, some people actually died. And we were able to document that in an award-winning story about the people who once lived in Brooklyn. And we called it urban removal, not urban renewal, because it didn't renew anything.